Good evening, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy stream. Tonight we're going to be playing a weird one. We are going to be playing Twiddle Storm, which is apparently a Legacy deck now. So I got a donation from Lewis D, who essentially wanted to know, can I port this idea from Modern and just make the mana base a little bit better and play with Force of Will and things of that nature? So this is a little bit of a clunky combo, so let's walk through it. Step 1. Have a Lotus Field in play, which taps for 3 mana, but when it enters the battlefield, it enters tapped, and you have to sacrifice 2 lands. So, step 1 is get this land into play. Step 2 is repeatedly untap it using Twiddle, Dream's Grasp, and Psychic Puppetry to generate a bunch of mana. Use that mana to repeatedly go and do these things. Notably, Psychic Puppetry has Splice onto our Arcane for 1 blue mana, and not this one. Reach Through the Mists, Peer Through the Depths, and Psychic Puppetry, as well as Ideas Unbound, are all arcane spells. So the idea is you get a Psychic Puppetry in hand along with a couple of arcane spells, use that to generate a whole bunch of mana and storm off. Past in Flames is sort of the redundancy engine, so you don't just like run out of gas mid-turn, and Ad Nauseam can help draw you into enough gas to go off. Tendrils of Agony is the primary Game 1 win condition, although Aria of Flame is more than likely the Game 2 and 3 win condition. So before I get started here, I want to set my baseline expectations for tonight. I do not expect to win a match playing this deck. This is a combo deck that cannot go off until turn 4. In order to go off on turn 4, it requires you to find a Lotus Field and put it into play in the first 3 turns. And then in addition to that, to go off on turn 4, you need probably multiple untap effects in your starting hand. So I'm super skeptical that this deck is going to do anything. It feels like I'm going to meet some degree of disruption and then just fold over and die to just about anything. Um, this deck loses really hard to a lot of different things, like Aethersworn Canonist, Chalice of the Void, Deafening Silence, a Meddling Mage if our opponents figured out what we were doing. Like, I don't have the ability to interact well with my opponent outside of Force of Will, and my combo is slow, and my combo is clunky. So, um, I don't have a lot of hope for this deck, and I think most of the games that we win will be off of Aria of Flame in the post-sideboard games. That said, I'm very willing to be proved wrong. So let's hop into a league and see how it goes here. Yes, Meddling Mage on Tendrils definitely kills me. Hey Bailey, hope all is well. Hope the new adjusted schedule is giving you a little bit of extra free time. Do a little bit of this sort of stuff. I started playing Borderlands 2 this weekend. Borderlands 2 is like really, really fun. I got it free from the Epic Game Store a month or two ago, and now I finally have time to play it. Not really one for shooter games, so this is a departure from the stuff that I normally play. No, I should probably get Fall Guys though. That would be a good break for the stream from time to time. I've been watching someone play Fall Guys and it looks like a lot of fun. How much is Fall Guys? Fall Guys price. $20. $20 is legit. I'm playing Monster Train as my break from Magic. Oh god, this is what my hands are gonna look like tonight. I have a switch, that's my primary system. This is a cantrip that doesn't actually dig. These don't do anything until I have a Lotus Field. This can find Lotus Field, but I don't have 3 lands. I think I mulligan this hand. Okay. Keep. There's exactly 1 Tendrils in the main deck, so I guess I keep it. Question mark? I guess I keep it. Yeah, I heard Fall Guys was like the most downloaded game on PS4 of all time or something like that, like very, very quickly. Yeah, I modded you on either last stream or this stream before. Maybe you walked away from the computer when I did it. You are here for the twiddle. Well, hopefully I actually like do that once or twice. No? I think it's Hexproof, right? Yes. So I guess I fetch now and play around a removal spell on my stuff. On my lands, a wasteland. We are going to make the Lotus Field. We'll also have to figure out how Splice on to Arcane works on Magic Online. Hey, Ashep, welcome. Glad to have you live. We have successfully put Lotus Field into play. So maybe next turn we'll start trying to combo off with it. And Zotmaster, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Continued support is always appreciated. Shoop, I think I need another card or two. I don't feel like I'm getting to 10 Storm with just 2 redraws. Yikes. So now I potentially could die next turn, right? 3, 6, 7 plus 6 from Lightning Bolt kills me. So I try to go. All right, let's go. All right, add blue, blue, blue. I think I'm gonna hold priority. Cast and splice additional spells. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. Seems like we're going now. All right, cast and splice other spells. Splice this onto that, untap that, splice. Okay. Guess I just want another one I like these. And we're going. Okay, maybe I underestimated this a little bit. Maybe this is actually going to work. Like, we already have 5 Storm. Yeah, I think I pretty easily win here. That's kind of crazy. Gonna make my black now. Untap target permanent on this. I guess I'll play a couple more spells, but we're done here. I was very skeptical, but like it very much appears to be doing its thing. Now we know we can bottom both of those bad cards. And I think I'll just cast this one and then call it good. Then we have enough spells that, like, even if a couple copies of Tendrils gets countered, it's still lethal. Hey Nathan, you're just in time to see Twiddle Storm get a kill in round one. Okay, I think I like Aria of Flame. I think I'm gonna bring in Aria of Flame literally every match. That's currently my plan. I feel like Ad Nauseam is not great. I feel like Force of Will is not great. Like a defense grid is better. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think my primary plan is just cast Aria of Flame and win. And maybe we'll board in another Tendrils as well. So like between Aria of Flame and Baby Tendrils for a little bit. That's how we try to roll. I should probably play defense grids though. Maybe cut like Impulse, Impulse, Ponder. No, Impulse, Impulse, Preordain probably. Oh, nope, I can't count. 6, 1, 2. Okay, yeah. This'll work. Yeah, overvoltage. This is definitely a crazy donation deck. Okay, we have the Lotus Field again, so I guess that means we keep this hand. Oh no, the pressure has arrived. I think I'm supposed to cast this Reach Through the Mists now. Like, stocking my graveyard for past In Flames reasons is totally reasonable. Plus, before I have the Splice onto Arcane untap card, I do kind of need to dig a little bit. Blue, blue? Counterbalance? That makes more sense. Fire up a Ponder and see if they'll daze it. Psychic Puppetry. Yes, I would like that. It does not have very many cards. You love to see that. I go off now. Blue, blue, blue. Twiddle if they counter. Twiddle again. Yeah, we can probably try to go. And if we fail, it's not that big of a deal. Ho 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 ho. We're going. make red now. Fast and Flames based reasons. No, I think I keep making blue. Oh, so splicing more than once doesn't actually net me mana. I can't tap in this. Okay, so I just want to splice once. Okay, so opponent has Stone Cold nothing. Cool. Oh wait, hold on. I just learned this, right? So the splicing does nothing. Can I splice from graveyard? No? That's fine. That's not great. I'm in danger of fizzling. I guess let's go deep now. Try to find, yeah. Woo! Non-deterministic storm! Woo! Please? Untap. Uh... No? Seems like no. Fuck. Not dead yet. Now I fizzled. Stuff past here I can't cast. Unfortunate. Storm was 20. We're gonna discard some cards. Whoops. Biggie, thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content. Now I know opponent has Force of Will. Unfortunate. I think I'm gonna die. I don't think there's anything that allows me to combo off. So I can untap and then do nothing with it. I guess we bottom. I don't know what I'm looking for. Yeah. We won game one, and we got darn close to winning this one. I built 20 Storm. I just could not actually kill. That was maybe on me. Maybe I should have waited another turn. No. And doesn't really do anything. I'll keep this. Maybe we junk the Twiddle. You an arcane? You're not an arcane. Let's bottom both here. We're essentially looking for more cantrips and our Lotus. Yeah, I haven't played Opper in many years. I used to play mono black control, like Crypt Rats and Kuumbaj witches and things of that nature, and had a lot of fun with it. I haven't heard great things about Pauper in the last couple of years. Thoughtseize is rough. But opponent isn't casting it, so that's cool. Cycling and untapping a land, that's pretty strong. I'm under a lot of pressure here. Especially since like I probably can't go off within about 3 turns reasonably. Like I need to spike Lotus, then I need to spike an arcane draw spell, and preferably also another draw spell. Yikes. And this Delver should flip because of the Brainstorm. So I think in order, my draws, yikes, probably need to be the, what is it, Lotus Veil, followed by a 1 mana Arcane. And then I need to get insanely lucky. Yeah. So I should have no outs to that now. Like, I could tap down their Delvers, but if I drew Lotus Veil next turn, they'd already have attacked me for 6. They attack me for 6 more times. I get into lines where I can tap these down, but I don't think I profitably win. Womp womp. So reach through the mists, peer through the depths, ideas unbound, and psychic puppetry are my arcanes. Uh, Mulligan? I don't actually have any selection here. I have one redraw. Good luck, Phil. I'll need it. I pitch the Force of Will with his hand, and then I have a clunky hand that does nothing. Let's mulligan one more time. This is objectively worse than the first hand. By a lot. By a lot, a lot. I will keep a cantrip. It digs pretty deep. It can help find something. Am I dead to this Chalice of the Void? Basically, I'm going to play. I'm going to fetch Volcanic Island and Impulse. Make it look like I'm show and tell. And then concede. So we're going to bring in Aria of Flames. That's how we're actually going to plan on winning this. And we're going to bring in Rebuilds and Echoing Truths as well. Board out ad nauseum. We'll board out one Past in Flame. I think I'm boarding out the Force of Wills. I think I'm planning on answering things once they stick. I don't know that, like, I can afford card disadvantage a lot of the time. And then, I don't know, one on Tapper. I need to ponder or preordain for a land, and then I can play an Aria of Flame. This is fine. Bottoming that, and I think we're bottoming this. We're just looking for lands. Actually, is that true? I could drop an Aria of Flame in to play next turn, but it cost me my Lotus Field, so yeah, I think I will just bottom that. Uh-oh. There's my other land. What am I doing this turn? Holding... Oh no, rebuilds 3. Probably just impulsing on my opponent's turn. Yeah, it's worse than Ponder, though. Because if I just Ponder and hit a land, I can just go Aria of Flame, and then next turn I vomit spells. And then I play Lotus Field later as, like, the long-term plan B. Yeah, I think I like Ponder, look for a land. Untap land, specifically. And as long as I'm not in immediate fear of death, totally fine for me to just slow my roll this game. That's annoying. Can this hit Planeswalkers? It can. Oh god, Force of Will. That's really strong. This is going to eat that Force of Will. Interestingly, two of the cards in my hand aren't actually affected by Narset, because they aren't true card draws. This rebuild is going to be decent. Don't know when exactly I'm casting it, but whenever it happens, it will be good. So it is my current plan to spend my next turn casting Rebuild and attempt to go off on the following turn. I need a little bit more than what I have now. I have a lot of mana. Each one of these nets me 2. We're just gonna get Karn and Mycosynth Latticed in the same turn. Yeah. Alright. We can probably call that good. Oof. Oof. I mean, my expectations were down on like the bottom of the pit of Tartarus at the start of this league, and we have already done the thing once, almost twice. So we're already better than I thought we were going to do the whole league. No? Deck does not mulligan though. Like, does not mulligan well. Like, good God. We need to keep land, and probably 2 of the 3 arcanes. I think that means getting rid of this. And this. That's fine. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm just gonna get an island. Could be some sort of Nick Fit deck, could be a black-green depths deck of some kind, could just be a bug control deck or something. Could be Bug Delver. Don't like Leovold me or something. I will be sad. And whatever you're doing, if it involves Leovold, like, yikes for me. Opponent could also be a combo deck of some nature as well. Lotus Fields should be pretty safe. It's real hard to get rid of that in Legacy. Like, it's more likely to not untap or get Blood Mooned or something than it is to actually get destroyed. Our opponent could also be something like Ant. Drawing Past in Flames there really makes me just want to cast this Ideas Unbound. Draw some cards, see what happens. Maybe go off, maybe don't. Let's do it. Are we going off? Because it sure looks like we might be going off. Oh man. I think we're doing it. I think we're doing it. Oh, I found tendrils. Oh, this is slightly awkward, isn't it? I can make the correct amount of mana, not in the right colors. All this stuff might be ending up in my graveyard. I'm going to discard a lot of cards. I guess we're pondering looking for another CMC1 arcane spell. You an arcane? You're not an arcane. Except baby tendrils? Like, take a Twiddle, make black, 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 and then tendrils. I think that's correct. Wait, do I just have lethal? If I cast Psychic Puppetry first? Yeah, this nets me 1 mana. Oh ho! Mr. Lee, thank you very much for raiding. You are just in time to see me twiddle my way to a lethal Tendrils of Agony. Or Exaxes. Woohoo! That's super cool. Alright. Well, Mr. Lee, I'm glad to hear that. Like, magic can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And to me, I want to play competitively and talk strategy and teach people all of the time. But I get super burnt out if I'm just like always doing the same thing. And the donation system has allowed me to play a bunch of ridiculous things that tend to make people happy. And I get games when I can. Yeah, we got game 1 at the very beginning of the stream too. So we're looking for a match at this point. We'd like to get a match. Okay, I don't actually know what my opponent is playing. So that makes sideboarding hard. Like, they could just be Storm, or they could be a bug control deck, and they just, like, didn't have stuff. But I think they're Storm. What's it do? It untaps Lotus Field a whole bunch of times and then casts Tendrils of Agony. That's the plan. Alright, I think we're going to bring in Flusters and Aria of Flames and... Make that the plan? Maybe when we bring in Aria of Flame, we're also supposed to bring in another Tendrils so we can baby Tendrils. And then we'll just trim some stuff, like trim 1, 2, 3, 4. Stifle's a great ramp spell. Very flexible. You can use it to get rid of your opponent's land, or use it to keep your own land. Yeah, remember what I was saying about this deck and mulligans? How many lands do we run? 20? That seems reasonable. Keep. The one good thing about this combo deck is that the most important card in your opening hand cannot be countered. Or sorry, cannot be Thoughtseized away. This is the sort of legacy deck I would like to bring to a casual Friday night Magic. This is like the perfect legacy deck for that sort of environment, where like everyone's just showing up with some ridiculous brews, trying to have some fun. This is a great legacy deck for that environment. I think I'm going to cast this. Definitely scared of just dying. Like, opponent is definitely the faster combo deck. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, this is essentially a direct port of a modern deck. I believe it's just like 4 Force of Wills, 1 Volcanic Island are the only main deck things that are different. We'll bottom the second Lotus Field there. Pier is probably good enough to keep. Actually, what am I looking for with Pier? Pier can find another cantrip at the very worst. Let's Pier. Went over an Aria of Flame. You want to grab Reach Through the Mist? Play land, pass. Don't forget about Past in Flames, Reapal Chief. Like, candle's fine and dandy, but a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, some percentage of the time you're going to fizzle with this deck, and you want Past in Flames to be able to bail you out. And if a Candelabra gets countered or Abrupt Decayed or something, you don't get to bank that for later. Whereas something like a Dream's Grasp, you do get to bank that for later with Past in Flames. Oh yeah, this is great. So this is the Shuckle Eating Curry shirt from the most recent Pokemon game. It's available in either the first or second town. My brother got this for me for Christmas. I'm going to reach through the mists here. See if we draw into Force of Will, and I would Force of Will that. Nope. I don't care about giving them the extra storm. If they're starting to go off, like, I think they've got it. Past in Flames, Cabal Writ, Dark Writ, yeah. We're good. Yeah, I have two different Shuckle shirts. I've got a red one that is my traditional, like, Magic Tournament shirt. It, got Shuckle wearing sunglasses, very much giving off the, like, don't fuckle with Shuckle vibe. And then I've got this one. Got a handful of other Pokemon shirts. The Pikachu cosplaying as Jace one is pretty good. And again, maybe this deck needs another land or two. So if I get Thought Seized and lose this Aria of Flame, I really want to have these three lands. Or like, what, maybe 1, 2, 3. But if I make it to turn 3 without getting discarded, I really just want my untapped land to put that in play. I'm going to assume that I'm going to get hit by discard. Put the Volcanic Island back in the deck. Midway, thank you very much for following. Hope you are enjoying the ridiculousness. My desk chair has this little pad that goes under my legs to just bring my legs up a tiny, tiny amount, and sometimes it falls off. Oh wow, they took Pure over Aria. I really want to draw an untapped land so that I can Aria. Is my opponent just going off? Nope. Actually, hold on. Lotus Field, float, blue, blue. Use 1 blue, cast Aria, then I get to ponder once Aria's in play. Sounds great. Let's do that. My opponent ad nauseums. I look kind of funny here, but whatever. I just want to look for a cantrip. I just want to like play cantrip into cantrip into cantrip into cantrip 3 to 4 times per turn. So now our untap effects are not really good draws. I need gas. The blue arcane spell that draws me 3 cards would be about the best thing that I can draw. Ermagurf, if you want a visual view, you can always click on the cards on screen. That's the Cardboard Live extension. And you can scroll over and see what all the cards do as well. Oh no, I'm dead. Those goblins? Oh no, Past in Flames with 1 left. Dark Red and a Cabal Rit still on Threshold, so I am dead. I am dead. So to really blow your mind, you can, I believe, use Cardboard Live on mobile. I believe I don't use Twitch much on mobile, but I believe in your settings somewhere there's like a puzzle piece looking icon you can click to enable extensions on mobile. Not 100% sure how it works, but I believe there's something of that nature that you can do to use some extensions mobile. I mean, we have gotten 2 games. Not a total shutout. But we don't interact much with our opponents, which is a dangerous place to be in Legacy. Sorry, in between rounds here, I'm going to check and see whether or not I have a Monster Drain video uploaded for tomorrow. Oh no, I don't. I already uploaded that one. Sorry, one sec. I already uploaded this one. I already uploaded this one. Oh yeah, but I have 3 or 4 days worth still recorded. Okay, good stuff. Content production is an interesting set of juggling. I will keep this. Good luck, Phil. Again? I'll need it. Fuck. We don't have any graveyard today, do we? No, we have 2 surgicals. We have 2 surgicals. I need to find Force of Will. Fuck yeah! We've got a chance. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes! Can I go now? I probably can't go now, right? Actually, is it like beneficial for me to wait? Float. Probably blue. Twiddle go down to blue, then have 4 total mana. Cast Ideas Unbound. Find an untapper. Continue going. I don't know that I have enough resources yet. It might make more sense to wait on Force of Will. I think I'm gonna just play a land and pass. It feels to me like opponent has a 2 mana reanimation spell and doesn't have the second mana to cast it. So I think I can get away with Force of Will on a 2 mana spell and then try to go off next turn. I wonder if I'm supposed to cast this. Sure. No. Alright, let's go. Like, opponent can now try again, so... I think I ponder looking for an untapper. Rolls does not do anything here, unfortunately. Don't have an untapper to make black. Let's go. Any order, shuffle, yes. Or Lotus Field. Untapper? Fuck! Alright. We'll discard Lotus Field. Lotus Field. Yes? Like, I kind of want to make another land drop. Ideas can find me a land drop next turn if it's still in my hand. Your Cabal Therapy resolves. Probably just names Force of Will, yeah. I wonder if they're just supposed to floop the Chancellor into play over Grizzlebrand. Like, one spell into Tendrils is lethal if they are at 4 life. That's really interesting, actually. Like, this is a hate card against me, but if this connects once and they recoup that life, they probably end up really far ahead. Am I just looking to draw 2 lands? Like, can I just cast Past in Flames and then go off? No, I just have 1 untap effect in my graveyard, so that's a no. I guess let's bottom that, but top this, just because it puts another blue card into the graveyard for Past in Flames reasons. Oh god. So if I can cast Past in Flames with 1 mana left, Psychic Puppetry should win me the game, I believe. I believe I can cast something from the graveyard and splice from my hand. As you cast an arcane spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That seems like it should work from the graveyard. Now I'm pretty dead. Oh, opponent gets to do something else too. Second Chancellor. All right, all right. I got more turns out of that than I was expecting. All right. Ario's in. Surgicals, and I guess Fluster in. Go Ad Nauseam out. Go 1 Past in Flames out, 1 Tendrils in. Got a couple of untappers. Got a random cantrip or 2. Maybe cut 1 piece of top end. Something like that. I think in the post sideboard games, once I bring in some hate, it's less consistent for me to actually fully combo off. So I think I end up like casting a Tendrils, Past in Flames, casting a Tendrils, or like casting an Aria, finishing with a Tendrils, something like that. That doesn't really do anything. Let's mulligan. Hand's great. It has a hate card. Oh, that was probably a mistake. I should have considered keeping that to find whatchamacallit? The Lotus Veil. Lotus Field. Alright, I have 2 of those now, so that's something that can occur. Did the opponent just discarded Animate Dead? Oh, they said this was a hand that won if I drew a mana source. Oh well. I was sitting here trying to figure out what was up. Hidespout Tyrant, interesting. I guess it's like a good thing if you think your opponent is going to surgical you. Like it's great to just lose that rather than Grizzlebrand or Chancellor. Glad opponent conceded. I appreciate that. We are a weird looking control deck. I'm in. Opponent is down to 5. I'm relatively good at just playing at instant speed. So I have that going for me. I can hold up this Flusterstorm without it really being all that suspicious. Ooh, a show and tell. That was unexpected, but cool. I guess I had an Underground Sea in play. Like I should have seen that coming. We'll Fluster. We get Dark Ritualed. We get Dark Ritualed. Under, look for the Lotus Field or an Aria or something. Just say no to all of that. That can get me my land next turn. Transmute sorcery only. I'm being offered Psychic Puppetry and Surgical Extraction. I do have to reveal the card that I take. Psychic Puppetry advances me to the point where I realistically might be able to win the game. Surgical means that I have more than just one piece of protection. I think I need to take the Psychic Puppetry. If I don't take it and 2 of those things are on bottom, it's a little awkward for me. go. I don't have very much card draw. Like I have 3 cards. I think I'm comfortable waiting a turn. This lets me hard cast a Force of Will on something that my opponent does. And then try to go off when it's just a touch safer. Like with one more draw spell, I'm pretty comfortable. The opponent is on Grixis Reanimator, featuring a show and tell sideboard plan. I think I'm going to fetch and get some of those cards back into my library, and then cast this Preordain to start things off. Yes. I'm going to go off next turn. Surgical Extraction on Peer Through the Depths will resolve. You may use that to look at my hand. Oh, my opponent left a Peer Through the Depths in the graveyard. That's not wise. I have Past in Flames. Is this the bait? I think I have to let them do that. Or someone asks, yes, I know that I can play this turn otherwise. Opponent has Dark Ritual and Grizzlebrand. Oh, right, it shuffled. Actually, I'm real good with this. We're going. Oh god, I love this shirt, Ludwig. It's so good. Yes, it's eating curry. I think this works, right? Cast in Flames, leave 1 blue floating, cast Twiddle, get blue, 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 Ideas Unbound from there. Yeah, this should work. Yes. Yes, I would like to untap. I'll let you get the kill on camera. Thanks for the game. GG's and appreciated. Let's give them the tendrils to finish things off. We got one! We got one! Ludwig, I've got it. Did I save this screenshot still? Let me see if it's still in my recycle bin. Oh, no, I emptied my recycle bin. I had this screenshot. I posted it to Twitter. I'll find it. Or one of my opponents was just like going off something savage. Yeah, here it is. This was one of those times where I just let my opponent have it. I was just like so amazed at what they had done. This is what they did on their turn 3. They did all that. They had like 2 lands in play before that turn started or something like that, and then they just went ham. They could have kept going. There's another Echo of Eons in their graveyard, but they decided that was enough. Yeah, like we got a match. And we got games in 2 other ones as well. This is a very good 6-card hand, so I guess I'll keep it. Good luck, have fun. You too. Land preordain. I'll bottom that and keep the ponder. Alright, looks like we're playing against some sort of Merit Lodge deck. That's gonna get me dead very quickly. This maybe helps, but it might be too late. At the point where we're tapping the Merit Lodge, we've already lost. Also, there's Sylvan Safekeeper. I think I'm taking the Ponder, cracking immediately, and playing the Ponder to maybe fuel some sort of Past in Flames based shenanigans. The other line is just like keep both Ponder and Tendrils and maybe get super lucky with untaps and build up Lethal Storm. Maybe that's just better. Yeah, maybe that's better. Although I should have ordered this so that the Tendrils was on top of my library. So it seems like this is the green-white depths deck that also has like crop rotation and Knight of the Reliquary. Make something work with an Ideas Unbound? Maybe. Gives me a handful of looks at untappers. Well, we're just building for a Past in Flames, really. That's what we're trying to do this turn. Yeah, the Tendrils is here, Cliffy. About to probably go directly into my graveyard. Yeah, let's send that into the graveyard and maybe I keep it. Baby Tendrils maybe keeps me alive next turn. Nah, let's discard it. Having both land and Ideas Unbound gives me the greatest chance of actually like going off. Opponent has a few too many bodies for Baby Tendrils to keep me out of Merit Lodge range. Let's ponder. Try to find Psychic Puppetry. Ooh, I found it. Oh lord, what is it? They call it Twiddle Storm. Straight out of Pioneer. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Ah. Well, we did not find Past in Flames. I think just to screw with my opponent, I'm gonna try to tap down their Merit Lodge and see if they sacrifice a land. Wait, did I make a land drop? Did make a land drop. Alright. I've never played Penny Dreadful. Get him. Opponent's out of line. Yeah, most of my Magic time just goes to Legacy. By most of it, I mean all of it, except occasionally having drinks and cubing or something like that. I'm gonna think about those. I think about those. And I think like I've been doing, I'm gonna board in that as well. Let's go an Adno's out and a Past and Flames out since we're bringing in Arias. And just do... Actually, what am I Force of Willing? My Force of Wills aren't particularly good because they're kind of redundant. I don't know. Maybe between like Force of Will and Whittles, I can uh I can make something work. Actually, I wonder if that was supposed to be a Peer Through the Depths going out because Impulse can find Aria of Flame. My opponent kept their 7. I don't know if an Aria of Flame is fast enough for this opponent. Like the Mox Diamonds put a lot of pressure on me. And like between all the tutors that they geez. With all the tutors that they have, they're very resilient and consistent. I guess that's an instant. We can do that later. If you know what you're doing with the deck and your opponents have no idea what you're doing, you can end up doing some rather interesting and scary things. Force of Will is too late. We'll take a Psychic Puppetry, which also feels like it's too late, but hey, we'll tap out for this Aria Flame and see what happens. Opponent wouldn't dare making a 2020 Tentacle Boy. Surely not. What if this gave me the life instead? Then I'd survive a Merit Lodge hit. Oh wait, it'd still be lethal because opponent would put 2 lands into the graveyard, turning that into a 3/3. Womp womp. Yeah, at this point I don't even know that opponent needs Merit Lodge. It feels like they could probably just race me with their board without casting anything else. Yeah, I'm dead in 2 turns. I like a Gaddock Teague. so I'm dead to board next turn. Let's hit creatures. Target player or planeswalker does not hit creatures. In that case, I am dead. Well, no, I'm dead. This costs 2 mana to untap. GG's. Well, GG's. Here, you can see the abomination of a deck list I was playing. So in game one, the idea is we untap Lotus Field a whole bunch of times, mostly using Splice onto a Cane with Psychic Puppetry, and then we Tendrils. And then for the post-sideboard games, we play Aria of Flames as well. We won one match in our league, and we got games in 2 of the others. So better than I expected, honestly. This deck doesn't really mulligan very well. So you really need 3 lands in your opener because you need to go land, land, Lotus Field, like, relatively consistently. And in addition to that, you also need some spells to support it. Very preferably Psychic Puppetry. And there's a lot of weird times where you can't cast a lot of your things like Reach Through the Mists or Peer Through the Depths or Ideas Unbound because you need to wait until you have the Psychic Puppetry. Well, this deck's not very good at doing early kills. It can turn 3, but you really can't do it before that because you can build up a whole bunch of mana prior to this resolving, but you can't do any of your sorcery speed stuff like Ponder or Preordain off of that mana, or Past in Flames or Tendrils, very importantly. So this deck usually can't win until at least 3, but more likely 4 or 5. And it's a little awkward. It mulligans a little poorly. I also don't know that you're supposed to play Force of Will. I think if you're going to like go down this path, like you should just be a full-on combo deck and not try to interact with your opponents via Force of Will, because losing a card with Force of Will actually is really bad for this deck. Like if you lose a Twiddle, that's a huge deal because not only is it costing you mana for your combo for untapping Lotus Field, but it's also costing you later on because this card is in exile and not in your graveyard for Past in Flames. So Force of Wills felt bad to me, and Ad Nauseam felt bad to me. I kind of want these cards to just be like more lands or more cantrips or something like that. Like, we don't have Brainstorms in this deck. We could certainly still be a Brainstorm deck. Like, cards broken for a reason. So if I were going to play this again, I would start by substituting Force of Will for Brainstorms and, I don't know, play a 21st land instead of Ad Nauseam. I think that would be my starting point. As far as the sideboard goes, the cards that were here felt fine. Not sure that Rebuild is actually better than Hurkyl's Recall. Like the 2 versus 3 mana was definitely relevant in our one game we played against a Chalice deck. I also kind of just want some other way to power this out. Like Aria of Flame is a little awkward in that tapping out for it on turn 3 means that you aren't playing out Lotus Field on turn 3. So like that's a thing as well. I don't know. I wonder if there's supposed to be like an Ancient Tomb or 2 in the sideboard for helping to power this out. Legacy Goblins, thank you very much for the raid. Yeah, there's other untap effects. So like from the new set, there's some sort of cycling card that untaps a land when you cycle it, right? Or something like that. So like that could be something to consider in a deck like this. I also don't know if there's another playable arcane card that's blue. My gut says no, but I'm not like super familiar with Kamigawa block, so I don't actually know. Like a lot of the other ones that I remember are red and not super good in this style of deck. Like there's what is it? Is it Glacial Ray? Deals like 1 damage with Splice onto Arcane. I don't think that's enough oomph to really be good. We also like don't actually have that much red mana in this deck, right? Like there's one Volcanic Island and then Lotus Field. 2 damage, thank you. 2 damage. But isn't it Splice cost like relatively high? Glacial Ray MTG. It's only 2. 2 still might be too high for this deck. Like for that to be a like true alternate win condition or something like that. The other thing this deck could do is like also just play a couple of cards like Young Pyromancer that gain value from you casting instants and sorceries. Like maybe Young Pyromancer is better than Aria of Flame. Like Aria of Flame is much harder to remove, but Young Pyromancer is much easier on the mana. And you can curve Young Pyromancer into like play Lotus Field on turn 3, float 2 mana, cast a couple of things. Why not Aria main board? Aria exists so that when your opponent plays something like Aethersworn Canonist, you're not stone cold dead to it. Like, Aria of Flame is not a great game 1 win condition because it's incredibly slow. Aria of Flame is there for when your opponent's deck gets worse at what its primary game plan is, and you can capitalize on their hate cards a little bit better. Green Darrigan, thank you very much for your support. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. We did ridiculous things in a few rounds. Yeah, so there are a handful of I know modern decks that would play Aria in the sideboard, even if it wasn't like super on theme with what they were doing, just because it was a way to juke your opponent's primary sideboard plans. Young Pyromancer actually wouldn't be that good main board, right? So in game 1, you have an advantage in that your opponent's cards like Source of Plowshares and Abrupt Decay are dead. And if you give them one target for a card that otherwise is dead, that card is no longer just a dead card in the matchup, right? It either has real value or it has potential value in the matchup. So I think something like Young Pyromancer is still better out of the sideboard when your opponent pulls out their removal spells and you go like, aha, it's Young Peasy. He's here to make 10 tokens for you to deal with. And they go, oh no, I didn't plan for this, and they die. Um, yeah, so reiterating, I think I'd go +4 Brainstorm, and maybe if you're going +4 Brainstorm, you don't have to go one more land. And I'd try to find one other cantrip sort of card. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. But one other card that gives me some draw of some nature. Hopefully actual card advantage, sort of like Ideas Unbound. And then in the sideboard, I think I'd try Young Pyromancers in these slots and Hurkyl's Recalls in these slots. Pyro better than Sprite Dragon. Oh, that's a good point. Sprite Dragon might be better. Sprite Dragon flies. Like, do you want to go tall or do you want to go wide? Like, do you want one very large creature or do you want multiple small creatures. All right. I think at this point I'm going to cut off the recording for YouTube. You know, we've kind of said what we have to say for this league.